Hello, my babies, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Spiritual Tea Time with Reverend Patience. One. Here on Indigo Psychics TV, sponsored by Indigo Psychics, where you can come for coffee and clarity. And we also have loose leaf teas, all organically grown and sourced and freshly roasted to order. Better than what you get on that shelf, baby. And also being fresh and especially freshly organically the flavored ones. Ooh, there are a lot of gods and goddesses and ancestors that would love a cup. Trust and believe me. We got verification and reviews all about it. So go to indigopsychics.com or indigopsychicscoffee.com actually to order your coffees or get your psychic readings from myself or one of our lovely other spiritual advisors. So you can get the tea or spiritual teachers, because we're not just about throwing the cards, we're also teachers as well. And then on tonight's show, we're going to have my lovely guest who I've had on before, my dear spiritual sister from another mother, spiritual advisor Deena Golden. And we are going to be talking about the importance of the mourning process, the spiritual, traditions that people do and everything. And the reason why, we need to recognize that we need to go through the process of grieving and everything for that healing process. So we don't get stuck in that rut and start self-sabotaging and we ain't living that best life. Because the best way to honor the dead, especially of our loved ones, is to live your best life deliciously while helping others in need. So without further ado, but before I bring in my girl, I'll say hello real quick to Brother Danny. Thank you for joining us. Hold on real quick. All right. Hello, my sister. How you doing, baby?
Hey, sis, I'm good. How are you?
Ooh, like I always like to say, extremely best and highly favored and listen off all the right people. Oh, I love it when I keep on finding out on Spirit Revealing, folks that are my haters, with their backup accounts and everything, because you got mutual associates, and you know what I'm saying? And those associates don't know that you know that person, but I don't say nothing, just the spirit says be quiet. And that's so that I could sit there. Because certain people I do block because they sending lingering spirits out of jealousy, which I'm tired of hearing about, you know. And then, or they're looking for anything and everything to throw up. That's why you went now on my page and everything. You don't see me posting about my family and special life events anymore. Hardly ever. Almost all my pictures I've taken down of my family because not only were they attacking me, they're going after my husband and after my children. This has been going on for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like with tonight's topic, what helped me not be the type person I used to be was recognizing the grieving process I really, really needed to go through, from all the hurts, all losing of loved ones, of friends, both of the physical and spiritual deaths. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm to the point I have mental funerals all the freaking time. And then these retrogrades get people thinking in the wily in their head that they can come back and think everything's gonna be cool. And it's like, you think I'm stupid because you hear a southern accent? Like I'm going to forget the foolishness that you did? When I say you're dead to me, you're dead to me. I have grieved. I have not held on. You are gone and forgotten. You know what I'm saying? Only my beloveds I keep in remembrance. Only my true beloved ancestors I keep in remembrance. But them fuck asses, no, you dead. It's like I always say when people try to bring up their foolishness of what they've been doing and gossiping. I don't want to hear. I don't want to talk about that person. I literally turn into a freaking owl. I start going, who? And that's funny. The spirit, one of the main spiritual animals of Santa Muerte, the owl.
Yeah.
No, girl.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Oh,
I do. The thing is, I look at deaths as transitions. Each one, each category, spiritually, emotionally, physically, relationship wise, each one is a transition. And each one you go through the same stages. You go through denial, you go through
yes.
anger, you go through bargaining, you go through acceptance. But the goal is to get to acceptance. And to be honest, a lot of times we're tried again and again by the same people, possibly to get the rest of the impurity out. It's a trying by fire. They come again and again, or you lose things again and again, or you find yourself in situations again and again. It's almost a trial by fire because we get to places where we think we have acquired, we think we have risen. And a lot of times people look at the retrogrades and the karma as bad. I don't. Karma is my bitch. She's my best friend. I make room for her. I
Amen.
I set a place for her when TT Karma come by. I know it means I'm gonna get my shit together. She gonna get me right. Everything I don't see, everything I missed, everything that escaped me once I thought I had made it. And a lot of times the things that I struggle with are people. I
Yeah.
love heavy, I love hard, I give everything. And a lot of times karma comes back to remind me how I failed myself,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
loving others.
Yeah. Either it's gonna be that same person, toxic person coming back, or it's gonna be that same energy in a different body.
Yeah,
Because we keep
because it will
we're
keep
not.
coming
Yep, because we're
again and
refusing to
again.
work on that healing, and until we get working on that shadow work and healing what's on the subconscious, that's keeping us magnetizing us into these toxic relationships, you won't keep the cycle up. We got to break them cycles,
Yeah,
and you literally got to go through that spiritual, emotional, death and everything.
yeah.
And like like I said, recently I just had somebody who did me very dirty and everything calls me up on a phone number I don't recognize. It was a California number. I thought it may have been my brother because it's like from the Sacramento area code.
Hmm.
But no, it was this certain person. And once I recognized her voice, she's like, I thought you loved me. Click. No,
Hmm.
I did, baby, but you broke my heart when you
Hmm.
betrayed me. So I
Hmm.
literally, I went, and I'm the type person, some people may seem like it's cold hearted, but when I'm done with a relationship, with that, for that emotional death and cutting up to help me, I don't hold on to mementos, especially of toxic relationships. They go in the burn pile, get rid of, sayonara, out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, I see them holding on, and then they wonder why they keep besides refusing to work on the inner work, they're holding on to these momentums that are given to these by these toxic people, whether it be family or intimate or friend, and then because it and keeps drawing them back, and they're refusing to do to cut the cord.
Yeah.
It's like a toxic umbilical cord. You know.
Hmm.
Oh, hey, girl, Miranda saying hey with a bunch of waves, and Danny Chin says hi, y'all.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us, guys. So,
yeah. You have to and find my journey now has led me to seek the root of everything. Why am I drawn? What is it about this type of toxicity that feels like home initially? What is it about where I have lost pieces of myself in my childhood, pieces of my soul in my young adulthood? Where did I trade in pieces of myself for ideologies of false love or false beliefs that I took as my own? Um, and I try to get as deep to the bottom, no matter how much it hurts. And anger is my first cue. If I'm still mad, if every time that person pops up into my head, I'm on something and that and that and that and that, that's how I know there's still a root. It's still growing little weeds in my little garden. And I got to go through there again with the rake, with the help of TT Karma, who's real good at that.
you're
Who's
preaching,
real
girl.
good at that. You missed the spot over here. Feel that? See how that hurt? You remember the last time that happened? It's because you missed the spot.
Yep.
And a lot of times it'll be trading in my time for spiritual time. I'm supposed to
Exactly.
be meditating. I'm supposed to be praying. I'm supposed to be studying. I want to be a master of my craft, but I'm on the phone helping somebody else deal with their problems, trying to fix them, trying to heal them. And karma be like, so now you don't have what you need at this time. You would have. Now you got to go back. You got to go back a level
Yep.
because
That's
you're not
part of
showing
the
up to beat the
pleasing.
boss this time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's because we see somebody going through something and not realizing, because we have such big hearts and everything, wearing them on our sleeves, that we're trying to save somebody from their own karma. And literally, you got to get the smack upside the head from Mother Karma and say, hey, no, 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 you need to step back. They need to go through this because otherwise they won't learn the lesson.
A lot
You
of us have that. We got that false, especially a lot of us magical creatures. We have this identity or ideology that we're supposed to save people. We were
Yep.
the big sisters. We were the big cousins. We were the ones who were always gathering all of our family, trying to help them, trying to heal them, trying to fix them. But that was because they told us it was our job. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Deena, this your job as a big sister. You're supposed to take care of them. You're supposed to rescue them and help them and heal them. But the gag is, I forget me each and every time. So I'm like, here, you can have that title back. I'm going to be my own superhero for a minute, you know? And that's where that healing starts to come because then their opinions don't matter so much.
Preach it, honey.
Then their words don't matter so much. Then the fact that they don't quite all the way really agree with who we are and the way we live our lives, but still want to call us when they need us and they need a prayer through and some advice or when they need to hear the spirit. And then they just, dog on our principles and our practices. And we sitting there trying to defend ourselves for what?
Oh,
No.
you the devil
What I'm
child.
going to do is I'm going to use my magic for me.
Exactly. That's why I don't do people still try old customers, clients. And it's like, no, baby, I'll teach you what you need to do and everything. But no, sorry, I won't. If it's not for my beloveds and myself, like I'm with you on there, girl.
It was the
It
same way
literally was
when I
taking
was
a
in the
toll on
church.
my. Yeah, it takes a
Same
toll
way.
on your physical health.
Yeah, it does, because it costs you. It's the same way I see them too. It's the same way when I was in the church. They say, well, can you get a word? Can you find out a word from the Lord for me? I'm sorry, what? You
Oh
want
God,
me to go
girl,
to the
some of the
same?
biggest energy vampires are in the church, girl.
Can you do this for me? Can I talk to your God for you and ask him what you should do? And it's
Mm-hmm.
very much that when we have gifts, the gifted, that's how they pull on us.
Oh yeah.
That's how they pull on us.
Especially if they are a strong Christian tradition, I tell them, I said, y'all shouldn't be Protestant. If you want this, go to a fucking Catholic priest, okay? You want to nickel and dime us and everything, and not want, you want to suck our energy dry, but you don't want to compensate a donation of at least a little something, something. It doesn't always have to be money, but no, you can't be just taking and taking and taking and taking, and not give something in return.
It's not how it works. It's
Like
exchanged
I
for
told
everything.
one of my girls and everything, if I instead of paying my old normal fee like you used to, buy some coffee and tea from my company, and then I'll follow
Girl,
through.
I do it a minute.
I ain't talking about you. This is somebody else, girl. It's
No,
all
I'm
good.
saying my cabinet, my goal is to collect them all. I want the whole collection. That's me.
Mm.
That's my goal. Just saying. Okay, keep going.
Oh, we doing a revamp. Doing the rebirth and everything, taking advantage of these, retrogrades, because you see all these. I've been seeing it all over social media between Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. People all freaking out because of the Saturn retrograde coming. And I said, well, if you weren't such a piece of shit to people, you wouldn't have to worry about getting your ass served between now and November 15th while Saturn's in retrograde. Because wait until in August, you're going to have which Mercury jumping in the pool. So that's going to be even extra amplifying of what Saturn's given. You got Neptune going. Pretty soon it's going to be Uranus. Girl, ugh. That's why I make sure I've been doing good. So all of us that have been busting our ass and doing right by people, we're gonna be blessed like a mother. Real quick, um, Danny's brother David says, hello everyone. He says, well said. Take a step back to say your own self is much better solution than putting on a Messiah complex archetype. And it's better for you to say your own self, and which is true, because that's what we're meant to do. Because like especially when it comes to no matter what, like I have seen several people growing up and everything, and their who had a major drug problem, and their parents keep them, put them in rehab, and the only reason why they go into rehab is to shut the parents up. But as soon as they get out, they're right back doing the shit because they're not ready. And like I tell people, whether it is of a physical problem or a spiritual problem, emotional problem, if that person is not ready to better themselves and put the work in, because our life is the great work, then you're wasting it. You're going to be that little hamster in the wheel just burning yourself out and literally end up getting physically sick trying to heal somebody and take care of somebody.
I know all about it.
A girl. I don't know how many times before I had my hysterectomy, there's been many a times I literally would wear myself in the bed where I would have girly time of the month and the flu or a cold at the same time. You want to talk about praying for death? Woo, girl. It's still trying to help folk. And
still trying to help folk. I think it hit me when I started seeing my kids do it. When I'm like, my junior, my daughter, she 3 jobs. She over her boyfriend house taking care of her boyfriend. She, going to school full time. And then just like you said, sure enough, eventually she crashed. And it be, it usually is a time in the moon time that does it. Knock them right out. Boom. And then she get this, boom. And now she down. And it's like, that's the way I see it. The way I've been shown is we're all in our own ships. Some of us have rowboats. Some of us have fucking yachts. But everybody's got holes in their shit. So the ones with yachts who have holes, they look pretty, but they sinking faster because they're bigger. And all of us are supposed to be fixing our own holes. But a lot of us will make drawbridges to other people's boats and get in their boats, and we'll take their oars and go to row in their boat for them. And our ship is sinking. And that is exactly what happened to me. 5 years, it took me 5 years to come back from the first COVID. Because the whole time I got people on me, little spiritual leeches everywhere that I go around and pick up. Oh, poor baby leech, here, I take care of you. Oh, poor baby leech, here, I take care of you. And then wonder why I dropped 80 pounds in a month. Don't have enough energy to digest my own food, so slowly starving to death. All of my systems, most specifically my immune system, shutting down. So ear infections every other day. Every single version of COVID I got, right up until I started cutting people off.
Amen.
And not because I don't love you, not because you did anything to me, but because I need me. If I don't get me back, I'll die. And then who's going to do it?
Exactly, because if you don't take care of yourself and everything, you can't take care of
others. Even if it's physical death, I'll be walking around here a shell of a human at 60 and 70, all balled up and curled up and can't eat and can't do this. No, I want to be 80 years old. If I'm going to be here, I want to be strong. I want to be powerful. I want to lead these people out this mess. Come on, let's go to the mountains. I already know how to grow shit and make bread. Let's go. I don't want them to have to carry me on their shoulders.
Exactly.
And that's the trade-off. I would rather trade their feelings in for my life.
Exactly.
And I don't feel bad about it anymore.
No, that's what, because the problem, like I've talked about on shows before, is that, a lot of us deal with that boundary guilt and everything. And now you have to literally become the villain of their story to take care of yourself sometimes, to keep up their boundaries and everything, So exactly, I can love you from afar. I'm the type of person I can think about you 24/7 a day, but that doesn't mean I'm going to invite your fucking ass back into my life. Hell to the fuck no.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, Sister Yay is in here. She says, "Thank you for this subjects, Queens." She's also one of our other spiritual advisors here on Indigo Psychics.
Hi, sister.
And also, David said, and that going Catholic, / Orthodox part instead of Protestant. What a wonderful advice for material for the material and spiritual benefits. It's an excellent, what should I call it? Hint, hint, the saints. Because a lot of us, we had to culturally suppress and kill up, and hide behind them and everything because of our African and indigenous ancestors, so we wouldn't get beat by our masters or or the powers that be that were ruling at the time. We had no choice, so we could still
tradition. We had to hide it. And I wish, to be honest, I would have known more about the saints as a child instead of having to go back and learn about them now, because it kind of like that doorway, that gateway to understand how the African powers work, hoodoo speaking. And so, yeah, it would have been nice to have that as a kid. But, it's good that I'm learning them, those of us that have to learn about it fresh, because Protestants have a very closed gate on what you can learn. Those of us who can learn about it now, it's good to see it with a fresh eye. It's good to be able to appreciate something that a lot of people in the Catholic culture would take for granted. And for example, the candles, the lighting of the candles, that is a beautiful, beautiful practice.
Yes.
The practice of keeping the candles lit, of lighting candles when you pray. That is a very, very, it's like crossroads. Like most Catholic churches are crossroads. It's that place you can go to really access the spiritual realm through those candles and through that light. And that's a beautiful practice.
So there's a reason why those cathedrals are on ley lines, baby.
And
a lot of them are also built on old temples and everything, especially over in Europe.
Yes, the sacred geometry in the windows and in the stained glass. Once I started learning about the power of just sacred geometry and how they put it inside the churches, they are power sources. A lot, the spirals, power sources.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, I see the Catholic Church with a great appreciation because I'm learning about it without having to be forced into it, by my ancestors. It's not a binder to me. Others, they have to grow out of it. Me learning about it, growing into it, I see it, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful culture.
Because you're able to approach it from the spiritual aspect and not the forced religious that a lot of Catholics grow up with, whether it be, Roman or Orthodox and everything, And Miranda says, absolutely. She totally agrees.
Yeah.
And Miranda is also another one of our lovely spiritual advisors.
I remember the name. Hello, Miranda. She's been with you guys a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And she's actually, she's a distant cousin of mine from my Puerto Rican side of the family. She's her and I are both Quiones.
Nice. Yes, I remember. I remember her.
Yeah, my abuelita, her name, Quiones Rivera Rodriguez. Rodriguez was her married name, and so was Rivera. She was originally, her maiden name was Quiones. So
it's almost like Mayan / Aztec, like way, way, way back in the day old. Like ancient old.
Actually, we have priests and priestesses of the Arawak, the Taino.
Taino. There it is. Okay.
That run in the family.
All right. There it is. I knew it was one of those really old ones. Okay.
Our family comes from, I think it's pronounced Yuca or something like that area of Puerto Rico. And that was where the main area of the priests and priestesses of the Taino were. The Spaniards thought that they were going to come and breed us out if they didn't kill us off, and come to find out we're still here.
Yeah.
Hey, if it weren't for my people, guess what? Y'all wouldn't know what the fuck barbecue was. Okay. Where do you think the word barbecue comes from? The Taino word barbacoa.
Listen, the whole culture, I've done some studying because I think I have one one ancestress from way, 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 way back, kind of like they kidnapped her type thing. So I did a little bit of research, and it is the women were very powerful spiritually. Um,
Yes.
all of the daughters were blessed by, I can't remember the goddess that they serve, but all of the daughters were blessed. Um, Even in historical accounts of Taino women, they were all described as incredibly beautiful and
Mm-hmm.
incredibly bewitching, if you will. And it was
Oh,
considered like very thing of pride to have a Taino wife or wife.
mm-hmm.
I use
Squaw.
that term loosely. Wife
Mm-hmm.
my ass. They were fucking kidnapped, but still it was
Concubine.
very considered very high prestige. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's dope. That's awesome. I do
I
remember doing
And it
that.
was funny, growing up, because I was adopted when I was a baby, but I was always drawn to all these different spiritualities. And being from Palm Beach County, Florida, we have a huge Jewish community, so large that the public schools take off for holidays,
Wow,
Jewish holidays.
really?
And during the time of
Wow.
Hanukkah and Christmas, there are more decorations for Hanukkah, the blue and white, than there are for Christmas in Palm
That
Beach
would have
County.
been cool to see.
Oh yeah,
Honestly.
and well, come to find out, I'm 2% Sephardic Jew from the Puerto Rican. My brother
Wow.
and my sister had a DNA test done and
Hmm.
everything, and it's like then we knew we had the Nigerian in us. That's
Hmm.
about 2. Then we found we had Cameroon, the we had the Congo, we have the Hominy, the from the Mahoney, we had the Dogon tribe,
Wow.
and then we have from northern Africa, the Arab from there, from Morocco, and the Moors, because we also have
Wow.
years. Besides, because you know we know about Span. Most people from Puerto Rico have the Spaniard in them, but come to find out, we have more Portuguese. Because I was wondering why.
Hmm.
Yeah, Maria
Hmm.
and Palomyombe running the family and the Sanse and everything from Puerto Rico and stuff. But and I went through my family initiations and everything, to get to know my ancestors, but I never felt truly at home, if that makes sense. And then when I got into Brazilian jiu-jitsu and capoeira and everything, I got into Umbanda. And with Umbanda and everything, it's from the Portuguese,
Hmm.
mindset and everything. And it's like, it just clicked. And
Hmm.
because sometimes when you see me, I say, soy bruxa.
Hmm.
I say it in Portuguese, and people are like, what, but you're Puerto Rican. I said, yeah, but this Puerto Rican is 16% freaking Portuguese. I'm only
Hmm.
14% Spaniard from the,
Wow.
and so it made a lot of sense after we started seeing all and then like with my European and everything, I was because my birth mom was always bragging about being Irish and everything. That's like 2%.
I'm proud of my little 1% Irish and my little
Don't
2%
get me wrong, me
Spanish.
too. But
That's all I got. But
come to find out, because the way she was talking, this bitch didn't even know she was English. Okay, looking at the thing from her
more
side of
Welsh
the
than she is Irish.
family, 2%. Okay, and then
She's
there's like
what?
3% Swedish, and then the highest amount of Anglo European was, we have 14% English,
Welsh.
and then no Welsh,
No
but
Welsh.
we also have 5% French and Dutch equally, and then we have Eastern European and Rus
Mhm.
is 1%, and then we have I'm brain farting here, 16% German.
You're more interesting than I am.
And literally, you go start from all the way from Portugal and go all across Northern Europe into Russia is my European heritage.
Wow.
And then my African is North Africa and West Africa and South Africa and everything. And then we have the Taino, the Arawak. And growing up, not even knowing my ancestors had been influenced me this whole time, drawing me to those, different learning about, because wanting to know who I was, you
Yeah.
know, because when you're all adopted, people go through this on a
Yeah.
subconscious level. And so as I, after meeting my birth family at 17, and then just recently, doing the DNA test, because when we found out, it was hilarious. We were still working at the beauty supply, and it was a busy Friday. And my brother calls me on the cell. He never calls. We usually just text. Usually, if he calls, it's an emergency to dealing with the family. And I go in the break room. I'm like, "What's up, dude?" "Sis, you won't believe this. We're part Jewish." I'm like, "What?"
Wow.
Well, come to find out, our one great grandfather come from the Centron family, and who we were told originally who our great grandfather was, grandfather, not great grandfather, grandfather was a lie, because my daddy was born out of wedlock, and being Roman Catholic back in the 40s and 30s and
Yeah,
50s, especially in Puerto Rico, that's a big no.
Don't talk about that.
And so,
just fix it and move on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and it's like, what? And it's like,
Wow.
okay, this explains, It's like, oh. Yeah. And so what's great, that anybody who has Sephardic Jewish line that comes from Portugal or Spain means that you literally come from the tribe of Judah, which is the lineage of King David and King Solomon.
Yeah.
And that explains why demons and angels are my friends on equal basis. I've always had been wondering why I've been able to commit, help be that spiritual warrior and command a lot easier than than somebody that didn't have, because it runs in the blood.
Yeah.
Because having the blood of Solomon.
Yeah.
And so as I started, redoing the research about it and everything, it really, like you said before, go through that spiritual death so you can be rebirthed, come out of that cocoon. You know what I'm saying? And start being true self.
Yeah. And she's multifaceted. Your true self is multifaceted. She reflects the light from every angle, even in the shadows. And
Amen.
that's beautiful.
Amen.
And it would do well for anyone to find their heritage, to research, even
Exactly.
to discover where you're from. I didn't know my obsession with unicorns. I swear they're real. And I always have. I swear I'm a unicorn. I think I've had a couple kids call me a fucking unicorn. And I am in complete agreement. Only come to find out that the unicorn is Scotland's national animal. Only
Yes,
come
it
to
is.
find out that I'm a teeny tiny 2%. So there's my little Scottish ancestors like, hey.
Exactly. Oh, trust and believe. You want to talk about unicorns? Girl. You know how we have the magic 8-ball that you shake? Guess what I got? Can you see
have
it?
an 8-ball unicorn?
Yes, I do. She got a gold horn and everything, and pink hair.
I knew we were supposed to be best friends and have sleepovers when we were kids. I just knew it.
Exactly. What's it say right now? Hold on. Girl, it's upside down. Oh, it's being silly now. It says not a chance.
That's because we're so far away.
I
That's
know.
the only reason.
When we get things straightened up and everything, hopefully you can come visit.
Yeah. Of course.
Because definitely we're not going to do it this year, because like I said, we're going to do a lot of revamping and everything, because it's a learning process. We're still a baby, for the company and everything. But definitely next year we want to start doing more events and everything. And I figured, you and some of the other girls can come up and visit. I got 5 acres. We can, glamp out and everything, and go do like events like in Wisconsin there, and here in Minnesota.
Midnight margaritas.
Girl, when we grew up reading that book, and me and my girls, that my little coven that we had in high school, we laughed our ass off when that movie came out because we used to do the midnight margarita thing. Being in Florida, hello, it's it's 5 o'clock somewhere, Margaritaville. Hello. So when we saw, it's like,
The
hey,
land
and
of picklebacks, I
now it's
swear.
been officially done. I've been praying for it. When the first time I saw the hoax, now it's true. There's going to be out next year. Practical Magic.
I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. I heard it. They're killing me coming out with all these twos. I cannot wait until Beetlejuice come out. I'm gonna lose my mind because Beetlejuice 2 is coming out this year. Too excited. Yes.
Yes, girl. I can't wait. I know because it reminds me of being in junior high when the original one came out. So entertain my inner child, because now I'm not the little child, the baby girl, she's healed. Now I'm dealing with the inner teenager, so to appease her, the preteen teenager. Hubby is not a big Michael Keaton fan. I love Winona Ryder. I've had since she was Lydia. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be Lydia. You know what I'm saying? When I was in junior, when I saw Beatles, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
And so me and my daughter, we're gonna go because we have Memo and Sweet Pea dates where it's just us girls, where we go to the movies, have a little talk with Mother Nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just buy a bunch of junk food. We just pick out and watch movies and everything. And so and she likes Beetlejuice too, so definitely want to be seeing that one.
Yeah, you gotta go. I'll be there.
Oh, Brother David says, dang, that's a revelation. Didn't know that Sephardic Jews of Spain and Portugal and Iberia were part of the tribes of Judah and Levi. Yes. Mostly of Judah. Because dealing with, coming from the line of, so I got the blood of Jesus. Yeshua.
Yeshua.
Be healed in the name of Jesus. I'm sorry. Too much being around them Pentecostal churches.
No, I've been there.
And the funny thing is, and people don't realize, if it worked for the roots of the voodoo and everything and our African ancestors, there would be no Pentecostal church.
It's literally the same thing, getting the spirit.
Exactly. The following in the spirit, the speaking in tongues, playing the drums and the praise music. You know how we have gospel and praise music, how
it's like dancing in
and everything.
It's like dancing in a circle, all the footwork.
Ritual. Because before they were able to have churches, they couldn't. It was illegal for them to come together and everything.
They had to do it outside.
So when you traditionally went to a white church, they were so strict that their deacons walked around with a beat stick, and they caught you sleeping, they would smack your ass with the damn stick to wake your ass up. And so what do you expect? Y'all bored, At least when you go to Catholic church, you get, spiritual physical exercise. Kneel, sit, stand. Kneel, sit, stand. Kneel, sit, stand. Depending if Orthodox, you're going to be standing up and everything majority of the time. But like in America, they're lazy, so kneel, sit, stand. Kneel, sit, stand. So
yeah, the stomp clap. I realized and learned late after I had been in church for a good while that the stomp clap, stomping, has always been known to shake spirits, to move.
Yep.
Anytime you go somewhere where you felt like the energy was off, it was always stomp, stomp, stomp. You stomp in that room. That's why a lot of my jewelry makes noise. As why I keep some on my feet, to make noise when I walk. It moves them out the way.
Yes, exactly.
It shifts them. And so when in church, when we would sit in the pews and some, a mama starts singing, and they start clapping, it moves stuff. Your spirit starts to shift just as soon as you get to clapping, and things start to fall off. And that's why they had to get there. Because if you didn't get there, that was the only time you got to shake that off you. And for the record, sometimes just shake. Just stand in the living room and shake your shoulders. Move that off. Shift it off. Shake it off. Get you your music. Play anything that makes you clap, that makes you spin around like a child, that makes
Amen.
you excited. Get that stuff off of you. Don't sit with it if you don't have to. Okay, that's my sermon for the day. Pass the plate.
Amen, girl. Amen.
No.
Exactly. Do you feel like doing some readings?
We can. Yeah.
Okay. Well, y'all, if y'all feel up to it, you want some tea spilled and everything, get your comments and questions, get them in there. Let's see. Boo, boo, boo. Let's see. Mama June in Bermuda says, I love the 8 ball so much. I have one on my charm bracelet. I said,
Why I
y'all,
get ball charms for jewelry? That would be cool. Oh. Are you ready to talk? I'll tell you that.
okay. All right. David says there are two polarized camps regarding Pentecostal and Baptist churches' origins. Both sides agree that it can be traced back to Charles H. Mason. However, one side says he's not a root work. The other side says he is.
Charles H. Mason was definitely a root worker.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I will say that I am on the side of those who agree that he was a root worker. In fact, I came from Church of Christ Holiness, which was a reason why we split off, because Charles Mason wanted to do a little too much for the holiness people. So we took our stuff and we left, and they had declared him to be witchcraft, to be a witch. They declared any practice that he performed, dancing and all the like, to be witchcraft. But the truth of the matter is Mason went down there to Azusa Street and came back different.
Mm-hmm. Preach it,
So
honey. Say it one more time for the choir in the back.
A little bit of both. He was a root worker he was one of the first hoodoo traditionals. He was one of the founders of hoodoo, in my opinion, because he did both.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
That's just my personal opinion.
Oh, yeah. It's funny, like with Marie Laveau, and it ticks people off, but actually, in truth, when you look at the true facts about her, she was more hoodoo than she was voodoo. Because she did majority of all her, a lot of her stuff. Besides, she did the voodoo stuff. If she wasn't in Congo Square, out in the woods and everything, but she did a lot of rituals inside St. Louis Cathedral. She was the queen of both.
I
Oh,
believe she was buried on hollow ground. Was she buried on hollow ground?
Which one are you talking about? Marie Laveau 1 or her 2?
Oh,
her daughter. Because her daughter actually is the one who made her as popular as she is today. The funny thing is, outside of New Orleans, everyone mistakes number 2 is number 1.
Number 1. So she had a junior. That I did not know.
Mm-hmm. She looks identical to her mama.
Oddly enough, a lot of the tribes, especially those with from Mali and descent, actually a lot of African tribes were matriarchal. And that's something else that I learned from my ancestors is I must have been one of them, because we junior all our girls. I was named after my mama. My mama was named after her grandma. We junior all of our girls. And the magic, so to speak, goes to the females typically, or those who can channel both, like my brother Simeon. I don't know. Interesting factoid.
Brother Danny Chins wants to know any updates for me, blessed ones. It's time to work on creativity. And through that creative process to come up with creative ways so you can bring in abundance. What you got, Mama?
I have wait. Whatever you're going through right now, it's a period of waiting. It's a period of whatever you're longing for. There's going to be some more time. In that time, really try to focus on what it is exactly you desire. A lot of
Mhm.
times stalling is because we don't really know exactly what we want.
That's why the creative card came up and everything, that during that time is to work on your creativity, to
Mm-hmm.
come up on the more positive ways of doing and taking care of situations of what, so you can manifest truly what you want instead of dwelling on the negative. Why is it not here? Why is it not here? Why is it not here?
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah,
says, Amen. Praise to be the ancestor. Thank you both.
of course.
And he also says, Amen. I'm on the side of Charles H. Mason as a profound root worker. I
Amen.
totally agree.
Agreed. Agreed.
While we wait, let's pull some cards for the collective.
That's what I was thinking too. We'll just pull collectively.
Let's see what we got going on between these retrogrades coming up and everything. And also, we got another full moon. See, this past full moon that we had in June was in the sign of Capricorn in the first degree, in the sign of being a strawberry moon makes it the feminine aspect and everything, and dealing with removing the obstacles and mindsets and everything that keeps you from receiving. Working on that process. And this full moon coming up in Capricorn again, it's going to be in the 29th degree. It's known as the buck moon. So it's going to be of the masculine. So it's time to really put it into action and really, like I got the strength card coming up, pulling on the ancestors and everything to really nip it in the butt, all that BS that's keeping you from what you need to be doing so you can start finalizing projects and finalizing cutting off cords of toxic relationships and whatever it is that's been
Yeah,
causing.
that's what I got too. I think this was the first one, 3. And then this was the second one. And then this was the third one. So I feel like collectively we're all going to have to refocus, refocus our desires, refocus our dreams, prepare, begin to
Amen.
look towards the future, turn our heads away from that which is in the past, and focus. For me, if there's and we're also going to have love relationships, focusing on relationships, taking away of things that don't, people who shouldn't be, the ending of relationships, the beginning of relationships, a shifting of focus from relationship to self-growth. And that's what I've got here. You got to go out by yourself. Whatever this isolation period is coming for most of us, or if we're going through it, if any of us are going through a period of isolation, it is to refocus our goals, to refocus our desires, to refocus our passions.
Yes.
A lot of us are going through shifts, specifically the those of us that are in our age group. We're going through shifts, we're going through transitions, we're going through changes in our bodies, in our lives, and in our relationships. And it is time for us to renew and to
Amen.
find what brings us new. Things that brought you joy before aren't bringing you joy anymore. You're not depressed. You're just supposed to find something new.
Yep.
And
Get rid of
those
that
of us
old
who are
stagnant
in
energy.
relationships, look forward to the new. They will come when we are prepared for them.
Amen. Bottom of the deck for that is the direction card. It shows them going from the nasty storm and everything, flying to where it's all sunny and everything. I'm hearing that song. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I know I can't sing, but it's literally screaming in my ear. It's, man, some of the ancestors, whoo, they play on high value. I'm surprised I ain't deaf yet. Brother David Chin says, "Blessed ones, yesterday I dreamt that I was in the piers of San Francisco. When I walked to an area, everything is in silence, much darker, and then I saw Alcatraz Lighthouse activate." What is the message of this dream? Something to do with forgiveness, Either it has to do with an ancestor that may have been set there, or a past life that was there in that jail, and you need to release whatever it is the old self that's holding in jail. You need to let go because it's keeping you a prisoner. What of that negative? That's what it's reminding you of. Not per se of being in Alcatraz, but whatever you are holding on to on that subconscious of yours is keeping you prisoner. And then that's why you're not moving forward. And that's why you're not manifesting why you want. So you need to give yourself the breakthrough, the prison break by through forgiveness. And forgiveness is not being weak. You're not forgetting what they did, but it's helping you to out of sight, out of mind, and let go. That's what forgiveness is. Okay. Forgiveness is letting go. And when you let go, you finally have the jailbreak, as they say, if that makes sense.
I hear that you have the power within your lighthouse to just attack one, to piggyback. Your light, whatever darkness you're in, there's hope, first of all. That's the first thing I hear. There's hope. It's not the end. It's not over. It's not hopeless. What the lighthouse represents is you. It's your true inner self. Like she said, it was on a prison, on an island. The sense that of isolation, the sense of being alone, the sense of being restricted. It comes from a dark, almost like here, conflict. And it's blocking you. It's keeping you from being able to lift up your own light, to be your own light, to come, to heal, to come out, and to light up your own world. That's kind of how I feel. The hope that you should seek is within yourself.
Yes, exactly. Lighthouses are a beacon of hope and everything. And the ancestors are letting you know you still have that light within you. It's time to make it shine bright. Stop dimming it. And if people don't like it, oh well. You got to do what you got to do to get that healing process going. Like I said, learning to let go so you can have the breakthrough that you've been wanting. He says, okay, blessed ones, thank you so much for clarifying this endeavor. Blessed be. Blessed be to you, honey. It's our pleasure to help. And Mama June says, that's exactly what I'm doing, cutting out negative, toxic people and family members, no matter who they are. You got to. So, especially now that with the veil being lifted off, and people coming more and more in tune of what's going on in the world, especially thanks to the internet, the toxic levels of people have gotten so out of hand, especially of self-entitlement, that, you just need to realize there's over 7 billion, almost 8 billion people still in the world, even with all the foolishness. Okay. And there's too many beautiful souls. Because like I say all the time on the show, when we're babies, we have no choice about who our family is, but we grown folk. So you know what? We can choose who we want to have as our family. You know what I'm saying?
And we can choose how. A lot of times I've found out in the past that I've had to cut people off because I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to temper my love. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I found myself not being friends with people whose relationships I could have saved if I wouldn't have waited till I couldn't stand them to say anything. And so it's like a lot of times we have to determine, we've been taught that if you love someone, you have to pour it out over an abundance. Sometimes you can just love, like, hello, how are you? And really care for 30 seconds and then go about your day. Like, it's really every single individual who says they love us doesn't get the exact same love they expect from us in return.
Yes.
We get to choose how we love. We get to choose who we love. And we should regularly check if we're okay with us, because loving ourselves, like true, unadulterated love for ourselves, is priority. And if it's not, it should be.
Exactly. And that's why, all the time when, oh, can't you tell me what's going on? Am I ever going to find love? When you're constantly looking externally and everything, you're going to end up settling because you're so hateful of yourself It breaks my heart when you see these babies and everything, and they can't even look themselves in the mirror and say, I love myself, let alone like myself.
Yeah.
It breaks your heart. But because and then they refuse to work on the healing because they think it's going to cause more pain. And, that's why I, teach about, and certified in energy medicine and frequency, showing
Mhm.
them how to use the subconscious so you're not getting triggered again,
Mhm.
and start releasing. Because that's why I love my 528 and the 432,
Mhm.
uh, and taking, because I had one lady when I was trying to tell her about it. What's the catch? It's too, there has to be, she's the type that always waits for the shoe to drop. And
Mhm.
it's like
What
having
we
that,
do. Right.
and having that type mindset is the reason why you constantly self sabotage in all your relationships, no matter if it's family, intimate, or friendship, because you're always expecting everyone to hurt you. So you're going to gravitate people who eventually are always going to hurt you severely, because that's what you're telling the universe you want. And
Yeah,
you have
people
that.
are unaware of how powerful their thoughts and their words today, or how much their thoughts and their words today frame their tomorrow.
Exactly. And that's why they, like Bruce Lee used to say all the time, the body does not know. Your cells don't know. So when
No,
you're talking negative, even in jokingness, it does
they
not know the
don't know the
difference.
difference. They don't know
Exactly.
the difference. I hate my life. I wish I wasn't here. All of that, your cells hear that. Your body
Yes.
hears. And
Yes.
tomorrow, oh, I gotta get up. I gotta get up every day and I gotta go to work. Well, that's how come tomorrow you gotta get up every day and you gotta go to work. I gotta work for every dollar I own. I don't. I chase nothing. Dollars chase
Exactly.
me. But
Pre-
until we change, because I used to say I gotta get up every day. So I got tired of getting up every day. This is slavery with extra steps. I don't want
Mhm.
this. No. Now
Exactly.
instead of the plantation being next door, I got to drive 30 minutes. Like
Oh, I know.
I don't want it. And it's really a matter of when we decide what we want, put our attention there, our intention in words, action, and deeds. Then tomorrow it has to be different, even if
Exactly.
it's just in the way we deal with what comes.
Exactly. Like everyone who, goes around complaining about Mondays suck. It only sucks because of your attitude. Mondays don't have to suck if you don't want it to be. That's why I refuse. Like if I have to work on a Monday, like I said, put on your positive music. I'm bebopping around. I'm doing my makeup and my hair, getting ready for work and everything. And like, hey, bad bitch, here I
Yeah,
come. You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and, and conquer the day. Hi, Miss Ashley. Thank you for joining us. She says hello. Oh, this is my first time. Thank you.
Hi,
Uh,
Ashley. Thank you
we
for
got a couple
joining.
minutes left. We're doing free one question. If you want.
Well, quick, because we got a couple seconds.
She says, "I am worth a more valuable, loving, caring, true, authentic self." Yes, exactly. That's what you have to say positive affirmations like that to yourself and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
It has to be a daily, because the problem is of this quick fix culture that we have around the world that people have been conditioned to. They think they want a one-time fix and that's it, not realizing
Mhm.
we have to do things on the daily. We have to make things a part of our daily routine. And like I tell people, you know, you have to literally make lifestyle changes, lifestyle habits changes and everything.
Mhm.
Because the main key to self love, self care, and self mastery is self discipline. You have to be the
Mhm.
master yourself. True royalty, we check ourselves. You
Mhm.
know, I'm human too. I go through negative. I get impatient about certain things, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We ain't gonna be doing this. All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. We felt it. We know what's up. Okay, this frequency takes care of it. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna lay down for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. You
Yeah.
know, and get back into
You
that right
can listen to
mindset.
your favorite things. I do it all the time. When I get sad, I love glitter. I love puppies. I love rainbows. I love rain. I love clouds. I love waves. And I just go down and listen till I can physically feel my
Mhm.
body shift, that all over tingle. That's how you know you're happy. That's how you know you shifted. And it's like, I will make the list when I'm fine. for when I'm sad. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And so I
Exactly.
have my list. These are the songs that make me happy. You know, you can play Stevie Wonder. I could be in the worst of moods. All I need to do is hear, you can feel it all over. And I'm gone. And
Exactly.
head gets to bopping and I get to moving. You got to have a list of the things that make you happy. The
Amen.
free stuff. Smiling is
Exactly.
free.
Amen.
Laughter is
Exactly.
free.
Exactly. Exactly. Darling, it has been such a fabulous time as always. Thank you, my beloved, for coming on the show. I can't wait to have you back again. And remember, people, you can contact her through the Instagram.
Yeah, I make
And
all the stuff I wear, y'all.
yes, yes, I highly recommend it. And also too, well, like I said, go to indigopsychics coffee.com, order yourself some coffee and tea, start your day
High
with coffee and
quality.
clarity. And then also, anytime, spread the word, share the video, like and subscribe so you don't, and hit that bell so you don't miss an episode. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said,
Right.
the last part of the show, we always got some free tea. And if that's not in depth, you can always contact me at indigopsychics.com under the psychics readings. Again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. God bless. God
Yes.
is blessed. Ancestors, whoever you believe in, may bless and protect you always. And keep up the great work, y'all. Love y'all.
Love
Good
ya.
night.